Ottawa's full of truly remarkable technology companies with global expertise. Some of these technology companies right here in Ottawa do business with the biggest brands in the world, and yet they're not household names in their own hometown. Today, we talk with one of those companies. It's a 20-year success story that brings leading edge design services to its clients. They have an enlightened HR vision that is driving rapid growth in its workforce. Who am I referring to? Find out on this episode of Techopia Live. Hello, everyone. I'm Michael Curran from the Ottawa Business Journal. Welcome to another episode of Techopia Live. This is a regular podcast from the Ottawa Business Journal that features executives from next generation technology companies. We want to shine a spotlight on the up and comers, and we want to keep you updated on the established players, all with a goal of keeping the tech sector informed and connected. In today's episodes, we'll speak with the CEO of a well-established tech company based in Canada. The company recently celebrated its 20th anniversary. In fact, it happened on the weekend, as I understand. It specializes in leading edge product development. It's one of those somewhat under the radar companies that really demonstrates the region's technology know-how, which I think continues to be the backbone of our technology ecosystem here. Let's meet our guest now. Here is the CEO of Fidus Systems. A big welcome to Alan Coady. Hello, Alan.
Thank you very much. Hi.
It's great to be here. And as it was just we were just chatting, and sounds like you guys had a nice party on the weekend.
Yeah, we had a fantastic party. It was 3 years in the making because it's our 20th anniversary, but now we're in our 23rd year, thanks to some reasons we couldn't do it earlier that we all know well.
Yeah,
we had 3 extra years to plan it, and it showed. It was a fantastic weekend.
That must have been lots of anticipation, I'm sure, to gather everyone and celebrate an important milestone.
Right, and we had about 2.5 times more people than it would have been if we had it 3 years ago. Because we're
there you
growing.
go. I think it was worth the wait. And Alan, speaking of history, I wanted to kick this podcast off by talking about you for a second. In doing a bit of research for today, I noticed a date that really jumped out for me, at least, and it seems like you started working in the local technology sector around 1990 with Bell Northern Research. Can you bring us all the way back and give us a brief history of your quite remarkable career, Alan?
Yeah. So I'm from Prince Edward Island, and I went to UPEI, and then I went to University of New Brunswick. And I always thought or wanted or knew I would do IC design. So that's what I did for most of my career: IC design, marketing, sales, all that kind of stuff. So there, of course, like anybody sensibly, I took no IC design courses in university. For some reason, I thought, hey, I don't need to take these courses. I'll just do it as a career. So that was kind of a weird way to do it. But anyway, I landed up here in Ottawa in 1990, working at B&R, turned into Nortel, and then I just progressed through my career into PMC Sierra. We started a site in 1999, and then I went to Tundra, another semiconductor company. We were bought by IDT back in 2009, and then I joined the board at Fidus probably about 7 years ago, and took over as CEO about 5.5 years ago, and here I am.
Wow. And when I think of Fidus, Alan, like my thoughts do go back to the early 2000s. I always thought of it like an outsourced design type company. But 22, 23 years have passed since then. Give us the modern day elevator pitch for what Fidus does, Alan.
Yeah, so Fidus built its reputation on hardware design, which would be a computer board, and high-speed design, so signals passing between chips at very high rates, which is technically difficult. So we started off in a niche area of high-end design, and then we just continued that. And we went from board design into FPGA design, which is like a computer chip, into embedded software, and continued on. At every stage, upping our game in our technology offerings, and the areas we play in have been leading edge for that entire time. And as today would be evidence in our customer base, we have the highest end, most advanced technology companies in the world. You can just think of the ones that are leading the industries that they're in, and that's our customers. And we've been working with these people for years. Our repeat customer stats are impressive, and it's because we have a model of first time right. We take it seriously, and we do that near 100% of the time, but 98% of the time, what we do is correct the first time.
Wow, it sounds like a recipe for success. And give us a sense of appreciating that you're a private company and you have no obligation to reveal any statistic that you don't want to. But the size of the company, for example, I know that you've got 3 offices. You're based in Kanata, you're in Kitchener-Waterloo, you're down in Silicon Valley. But give us a sense of how big Fidus is today.
Yeah, I don't mind saying the number of employees. So when I joined 5.5 years ago, we were around 40 employees. And now we're around, with our contractors that we use on a full-time basis. In the last 5 years, we've grown 5 times. So we're 500% higher. We're over 200 people. And it's been a great ride, a great success. And it just has no end to it because our TAM is unlimited in the areas that we contribute in. So there's no stopping us. We'll do it again in the next 5 years.
Wow. Alan, I'm guessing here that acquiring technology talent, and I mean, the cream of the la crème à la crème, as they say in French, is a big part of what you do. Like, that's quite remarkable for a company to experience that level of employee growth and continue to hire top talent. What again is your recipe for success? Help us understand that a little bit, Alan.
Yeah. So about 25 years ago, the way we hired, well, the way the industry hired people, and people still do it, is based on knowledge, and then aptitude or brains, horsepower, and then attitude. And about 25 years ago, I thought that's completely backwards. I said, we're gonna hire based on attitude. And if someone has a good attitude, they can get stuff done. Then aptitude comes second. If we need to hire them with the knowledge already in place, and that's the only way we're comfortable, I guess we're not hiring people that we think are very smart, right? We're hiring people that we think can't learn at light speed. So 25 years ago, I changed that. Every hire was based on attitude first. We didn't do a technical interview first. We do a culture fit interview, and we've done that the entire time I've been at Fidus, and it pays dividends. So when you do that, you create an outstanding culture where people want to come work. You get yourself in a position to have the best in the world, but with no ego. Because if they have an ego, they don't make it. They still may be the best in the world, but they don't make it onto our team. So first and foremost, you have to fit into our culture, which is we have high demands for our culture. And that's what allowed us to hire excellent people. And then they simply go out and hire excellent people. They basically bring in their friends. We have more than one set of brothers and sisters that work here. We have cousins. We have they just pull in their friends and family, and we build a strong company by that approach.
Isn't that something? I love that. Cousins and friends and family, just, hey, you got to check out where I work. It's the best place in the world. You should come work here. And you build up a real momentum with that. I want to talk a little bit about the technology problem. And we're a technology podcast, Alan, but we're not like a technology podcast for engineers or that type of stuff. So please keep it surface level a bit. But let's take us 1 inch deeper into the technology issue that you're solving for all these clients.
Yeah. Okay. So typically we would be in the leading edge prototype space where somebody, let's say some big autonomous car company you might know of, would want to develop leading edge technology that doesn't exist yet. Quite often we don't know, and they don't know if it could exist. So they'll come to us because of our reputation, and typically most of these companies have worked with us for years, and they'll ask us to explore this latest bleeding edge technology, and we will do some prototyping, create some boards, create a little small world scenario, and it's usually around high speed signals So robotic surgery, for instance, would be an example where you need a very high speed signal. You need a very low latency because, as you can imagine, if you're operating on someone across the world, you need to be able to see and react very quickly to the moving of a scalpel, right? And if you're off by millimeters, that's game over. So there can be no latency, there can be no defects in the image and in the movement, and that's us. That's what we do.
Really interesting. So, I mean, in some cases, I love the fact that how you position that it's almost experimental. It's not, we're not even sure if this can be achieved. We need to bring in the team from Fidus Systems to test this and see if they can wrap their heads around it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Listen, Alan, we're going to take a brief pause in the interview to recognize one of the companies that champions our Techopia Live project. Here is a quick video message from Number Crunch. Number Crunch is an Ottawa-based firm that allows you to strategically outsource your financials, especially if you're a technology startup or scaling your business. Number Crunch services range from bookkeeping to payroll to full virtual CFO services, including fundraising preparation and cash flow forecasting. Led by Susan Richards and Craig Hung, Number Crunch is supported by an established team of financial professionals who have advised and supported hundreds of firms. Number Crunch's cost-effective subscription model affords you the right expertise for every stage of your business. Let Number Crunch help your company mitigate risk by ensuring proper accounting procedures are in place, providing you with strategic input and scaling along with your business. For a quote on outsourcing and accounting, please visit numbercrunch.ca. Number Crunch, strength in numbers. All right, we're back with Alan Coady, the CEO of Fidus Systems. Alan, the world is abuzz with AI.
Yes.
Technology companies are wrapping their heads around this and trying to figure out. So I wanted to ask that question that's being asked of many technology companies these days, which is, how are you adapting to this very quick lead on to AI?
Yeah, for sure. So we are obviously a technology company for 22 years now. So we've been involved in what you might call it early edge AI for many, many years. And where we see it the most, or where we've used it the most, is in the tools we use to develop the designs we do. So we couldn't possibly design the circuits and systems that we produce each year with human hands and human calculators. So we've been using advanced software for years, and it has AI-like tendencies in it for many, many years also. So as we advance in AI, where Fidus will make the most use of it, first and foremost, is by adopting even more advanced tools to allow us to do more advanced projects in less time with better accuracy, both schedule and time and risks. That's the primary three things, right? One is schedule. They want to know, we want to know, our customers and ourselves want to know it can be done on time. Risk, which is the most important factor. And then, of course, cost. So the advanced tools allow us to be more predictive down that path. And AI allows us to move some of the simpler tasks onto the programs, and where we the humans continue to do the most artistic and difficult things at a system level.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like you've got a little bit of a head start in thinking about this. Alan, we'll slowly start wrapping up. We have lots of time, but we'll slowly start wrapping up.
Sure.
One of the things I want to ask you is to help us kind of gaze into the future. You shared with us that you've experienced some tremendous growth in terms of your workforce. What does the future hold for Fidus Systems?
Yeah, so Fidus, we've had a pretty nice blueprint over the last 5 years. So it's been a pretty sweet ride. People are really, this is many people. This past weekend, when we had our delayed 20th anniversary, many people, dozens upon dozens, come and said this is the best company they've ever worked at. And so we're going to continue to hone those skills and continue down that path. We will embrace AI, of course. We develop AI ourselves too. I should have mentioned that earlier. So we develop AI circuits and systems. So we'll continue that. So that's exciting. So we're both excited to use it and to develop it. And I just see us expanding our offerings into adjacent areas that just seem to make sense. That's what we did over the last 5 years also, is taken our core and just expanded it into areas that allowed us to provide a more fulsome solution to our customers. So we're pretty excited about the future. We can't wait for it to occur, but of course, we have to have patience.
Well, that's good. Patience, a 22-year-old company has patience, so there seems to be a good fit there. And Alan, finally, I'm going to ask you a question that's somewhat related to our chief sponsor, which is EY, the accounting and the accounting and consultancy. Their tagline is "Building a Better Working World." So as we're wrapping up, we often ask our guests, "How are you, or specifically Fidus, building a better working world?"
Yeah, for sure. So we all have processes and machines, and even AI is a type of machine. But where it really happens is people, humans, right? That's the differentiator. So we, as you said earlier, require the highest skilled people in the world, and these people can get jobs anywhere. They can get a paycheck anywhere, and they don't need to be able to work any more than the weekend. So what do? Well, we do it because it's the right thing to do, not because we need to. But we make sure that Fidus is a place that brings joy to people and their families, and it's the best place they ever worked. It's really, really important to us. It's not a tagline or a joke. Like, we honestly do that because we feel the biggest impact we can have on the world is on the people we touch. And the people we touch is first our employees, of course, our customers, but it's all their families. If an employee leaves happy after a day of challenge and fun and reward, they go home and have a great family night with spouses and their kids. And that just replicates into the spouses being in better moods and their kids. So it's extremely important to us. So building a better workplace or better work environment, Fidus is all about that. And EY, I fully align with their tagline.
It's a beautiful sentiment, and the best part of it is it's anchored in really solid business practices, Alan. So you've got that right for sure. Listen, Alan, I want to thank you. I know you've got a very busy schedule, but I want to thank you for spending some time with us here at Techopia Live, and continue to wish you and all your colleagues another happy 20 years plus.
Yes, thank you very much for inviting me. I enjoyed it, and have a great day.
All right, thanks, Alan.
Yes.
All right, as we wrap up here, let's take a look at some of the other great companies that champion our Techopia project. Techopia is brought to you by many great sponsors, such as EY, building a better working world; Number Crunch, offering virtual CFO services for SaaS companies; Perley Robertson Hill and McDougall, a leader in business and technology sector law; TD Bank, specialized programs for technology companies; the University of Ottawa Faculty of Engineering, creating the next generation of technical talent. Techopia is not only a podcast, we post new articles daily at obj.ca/Techopia. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe and click the bell icon. Another thank you to Alan Coady from Fidus Systems. As I said off the top, another one of these companies that is a little bit below the radar here, but really demonstrates the technology know-how and one of the strengths of our technology ecosystem. Great to get a catch up from Alan and Fidus Systems. Listen, have you heard the great news? We established a new magazine, launched a new magazine earlier in 2023. With our friends from EY, has all sorts of fascinating content on the local technology sector, from the history, the future, some significant issues. We identify some of the up and coming companies. We call them the next gen companies, also the established players. So you can go to Techopia EYinsights.ca to look at the digital flip book of that magazine. Also, you can check out our weekly email technology newsletter. You can go to obj.ca, click on subscribe, and select that newsletter. Arrives in your inbox on Mondays. And of course, every weekday, we're updating our website, obj.ca/Techopia, with new technology news. So if you're a hardcore technology news junkie, there's your spot to go. Listen, we hope that Techopia is keeping you informed and connected. Let's keep building Ottawa's technology utopia. That's Techopia. See you soon. Bye-bye.